Happy Wednesday! Welcome to this week's Great British live stream. For those of you who are new, my name is TJ and I stream UK domestic flights every Friday at 1 PM UTC, except this week's, which is on a Wednesday because I'm away on Friday. Today we're flying the brand new 737 Ultimate Beta. Hey ANDREI, glad you could join me. We're flying from Holyhead in mountainous North Wales to beautiful Inverness in the Scottish Highlands. This aircraft is so much bigger and heavier than the regular 737. So, can we fly it smoothly and land it gently? Now the startup is pretty similar to every other 737. So, let's begin. We'll pop inside the aircraft, guys. We will get our battery on, get our standby power on, get our ground power on. Then let's go down to the FMC where we'll set our fuel and weight here. So the fuel we need today is 11.3. So we'll pop that in there. Gives us a takeoff weight of 115, and that's what we're looking for. We'll go back up here. We're going to get our window heat left and right on there. Going to get our trim air on, get our packs off left and right. Going to flick these two switches down here, get our left fuel pump on, 1 and 2. Going to go nav and nav to align the IRS. Okay, we'll pop down here, we'll go to init ref, we'll grab our GPS left position and we'll pop that in there to set the initial position. Going to pop up top here and we are going to start our APU. 1, 2 and 3. There we go. Okay, while the APU is starting, guys, let us take a look at this beautiful 737 Ultimate, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about once we start taxiing and once we get in the air. The weather here at Holyhead in North Wales is absolutely terrible. It's overcast, it's fairly grim, so hopefully the weather will improve, guys, by the time we get up to the Highlands in about 300 miles or so, and maybe we'll be able to see some scenery for once. So just waiting for that APU to start up there still. So the cool thing about the Ultimate is that it comes with this tablet down here, which eventually is going to be integrated into the aircraft itself down there. But the tablet allows you to set stuff like ground handling and will eventually allow you to look at checklists, weight and balance, set your aircraft weight, that kind of thing. So we'll get our APU Gen 1 and 2. APU bleeds. Going to get our ground power off. There we go. Grab our other fuel pumps here. I don't think we have anything in the center tank. We do not. Cool. Okay, let's get the electrics going, the pumps going. There we go, 1 and 2. Gonna flick that up there. Okay, it is time to program in our route. So we'll go to our route page. We are going from EGOV, Holyhead. We're going to EGPE, Inverness. Our flight number today is NRS 1103. We've got a really cool call sign of Red Nose, so I hope there's some ATC online today. Okay, with the flight number set here, guys, I'm going to go departures. We're going to select our departure runway from Holyhead, which today is 01. We're going to take this SID here. We go route, activate, exec. Excellent, we'll go across here. Our next waypoint is SOSIM. Job done, execute that. We'll then go in Macux. 1 in there. Lagav. GAV. Get that in there. And the arrival we will want is the ILS for runway 23. I'm going to go via INS 1 here. I'm going to execute that. Okay, go to our legs page. I think we just have to clear out that gap there. Lovely. Okay, guys, this all looks good. Flight plan is good. So we'll go to our init ref, grab our center of gravity, We're going to be cruising at, I believe, flight level 290, 29,000 feet up there. Yep, cool. Lovely. Going to set our winds at the top of climb are roughly 310 degrees at 15 knots. 015. Cool. Our isodev is -4. We haven't got any reserves, and our cost index should be about 14. There we go. I believe that is everything. So we'll execute that. We'll go to M1 limit, get the outside air temperature in there. Go to takeoff, flaps 5, center of gravity programmed in, V1, VR, V2 speeds. Job done. Okay, so it's quite a long process compared to the Airbus. Getting this 737. London SC Centre. We might hit his airspace, we might not, guys. At the moment, we are firmly in London West. What I'll do is I'll tune him in as our second frequency, 132. Wrong radio. 132.6. Cool. And then we can switch over to his frequency if he asks us to contact him. There we go, lovely. Okay, and our radio is set to Unicom because there's no ATC online. Cool. So let's tell this ground handling to go away. Don't need the GPU, the cones, the tail stands, the baggage car, any of that stuff today. There we go. And we can hide the tablet. Cool. So there's no need to push back yet. So what we'll do, we'll just get engine 2 over to ground. And we'll just wait for this to build up here to about 16, and then we will introduce fuel to the engine. 12, 13, here we go. You can hear it start up there. Lovely. 16, let's introduce fuel to engine number 2. As the engine spools up, gets faster and faster. So, excellent. Once we have a good start on number 2, which you can see just spooling up right there. Lovely. Once we have a good start on engine number 2, which we do, we'll get engine number 1 over to ground. Repeat the process here. Once this gets up to about 16 or so, we will introduce fuel to engine number 1. 12, 13, 14, ready, 16. There we go, introduce fuel to engine number 1. We'll watch it spin up here, and then we should get a good start on both engines, hopefully. Excellent. So with engine number 1 started up there, what we can do is we can take power from the engine here, 1 and 2. APU bleed can go off, these switches can go down here. Lovely. Get our packs over to auto, left and right. APU can go off completely now, if I can actually click it. Go. There we go. Lovely. APU is off. Let's get our yaw damper switched on there. Let's get the emergency exit lights on. Our parking brake is already set on down there, guys. For the lights, we're just going to get our logo, anti-collision, all of that stuff. All there, good stuff. We'll go clear that out. Go flight director number 1. Go flight director number 2. Our ILS frequency today is 108.5, so we've already got that in both radios down there. The course of the runway is 229, so we've got that dialed in here and here already. Let's sort this takeoff trim. Our takeoff trim is 4.2 today. Let's get this bank angle up to max. We'll grab the altimeter for Holyhead, which is 1028 at the moment. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in there. And we're also going to set it over this side as well. 1028. 8. Lovely. Okay, awesome, guys. Awesome. Just set our squawk code here to 1103 because that is our flight number. Get the TCAS going. Going to set our minimums, our decision height. Going to set about 150 again. If we haven't seen the runway by then, we'll we'll probably have to go around. There we go. Radars, I just want terrain and whether do the doors open in the 737 Ultimate? I'm not sure, man. What do we have here? Door operation. Should we have a look? Should we pop outside and have a look? So this is what, cabin door left, open, apparently. Yep, there we go, man. The doors to open in the 737 Ultimate. They're not like automated by the ground handling yet, but they are openable, which is pretty cool. Lovely. So let's set our cabin altitude up here, which is 29,000 feet. Lovely. We'll grab our Probe Heat 1 and 2. Set our speed up here to V2. Our V2 is 134 today, guys. 334. There we are. Auto brake rejected takeoff. Set our cruising altitude of 29,000 in our control panel up here. There is like a faster way to do this, but it tends to run away with itself, so I'm just going to do that. There we go, 29,000. LNAV, VNAV, flaps 5 in these. The auto throttle, lovely. So no controllers online. Let's just pull up our airport map. Going over to runway 01 here. Let's go. Okay, so the 737 Ultimate is a sort of a bigger, heavier version of the Zibo 737-800 for X-Plane. Bigger, heavier, it can go much further than the Zibo can. And it's also, I think it might also be slightly faster than the Zibo. It's currently a beta product, so stuff like the HUD doesn't work. There's meant to be a HUD just up there which you can pop down for landing. It doesn't currently work, but it does have a fully featured cabin, which we will see a little bit later on during the flight today. So let's taxi out to runway 01 here. When you see us fly this SID in a minute, it's it kind of goes back on itself, which is quite weird. We could probably get away with not flying a SID, but we will do. We will do anyway. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure we are roughly lined up here, guys, on the ND. Ready? There we go. Okay, cool. I'm going to pop that out to 20. Set some thrust. I'm going to hit M1, guys. Here we go. I love the sound of these engines. Okay, rotate at 120 today. V1, rotate. Come on, up we go. Up. Such a heavy aircraft, man. Such a heavy aircraft. Positive rate. Gear is going up. Lovely. As soon as we hit 400, we can get our autopilot going as well. There we go. Autopilot on, guys. Excellent. So we can get our auto brake over to max here. We can get our flaps up. We can arm our spoilers. And there we go. Off we go, guys. Off we go through the clouds, of course. There we are. Lovely. Off it goes through the clouds to Inverness in the Highlands today. So some of this scenery. There we go. That is a much better view. Some of the scenery here is really quite nice, but my god, the weather today is absolutely dire. Absolutely dire, guys. Who just came online? Manchester Tower is online, so Manchester Airport is fully staffed at the moment. Are these volumes okay? The engines are super loud in this aircraft. Okay, we must be through 5,000 by now. Yep, so we can get our altimeters over to standard here. 1 and 2. Oh, there we go. We've got some nice scenery we can sort of see out there, and that's it. That's our startup and takeoff procedures done. So now we'll just enjoy. Look at this SID, it's ridiculous. We'll just enjoy. Cool, glad the volume's good. We'll enjoy this this flight over to Inverness now. So I think while we're climbing out, what we'll do is, because the scenery down below is sort of hidden by that lovely fog down there, I think this is probably a good time for a cabin tour. So if we just wander through here, what you'll see is this sort of beautiful full interior, but they've restricted, for some reason they've restricted how far you can walk, but it's cool, we can do this. We can go, ready, through the window, back into the plane. It's ridiculous. Back into the plane here. And of course on the left, this is our sort of first class section. For donators, Andre, you sit in first class, man. There you go. On the seat back of every screen, it's kind of cool. We've got our sort of like a live readout of our flights. We've got our altitude, the winds, the outside temperature, and our ground speed, which is quite a cool feature to have. As we look through here, this is our main passenger cabin, where everybody else is sitting. This plane is absolutely vast, but you can see that the quality of the cabin here is much higher quality than the default Zevo 737, which I think uses like an old default interior. If we just sit by this row here, and of course even in standard class, we have these TV screens here, and I'm told it's almost like we're on a plane. I'm told that they are working on sort of the window textures, and one day you will be able to pull these blinds up and down, which is kind of cool, really. So there we are. Let's see how our flight is currently doing. We're just banking left on this absolutely insane SID here. Just going to pop our FMC there over to legs just so I can see where we are. We've hit an altitude restriction at the moment, but then our climb will continue as soon as we hit the next waypoint, and we can be on our way to Inverness. So let's check out the views from outside the aircraft. How long this thing is. So much bigger than your average 737 here. The Norwegian livery is absolutely beautiful. It's the livery that they use on their 737 MAX, I think, on their transatlantic flights. So beautiful plane, amazing model of a plane, and we can hear those engines throttle up now as the aircraft starts to bank and climb again. Look at that. To the next waypoint. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So, Andre, have you heard back from Wizz Air yet? From your compass test? You can see here on the plane there's still a bit of work to do. The mesh is still in progress, but it looks pretty damn good. And you're still waiting, man. Alright, well, I really do hope that it works out for you, man, of course. I'm sure you'll let me know. He'll let me know as soon as you hear something, which is cool. Amazing, dude. You get to fly real planes, right? So next week, the plan for next week's stream, we're going to jump back in the Airbus A319. Next week's stream, as usual, will be Friday at 1 PM UTC. We're going to jump back in the Airbus, and we're leaving the UK. We are going to the Himalayas. We're going to fly the A319 out of Lukla Airport, and we're going to fly it into Paro Airport. So hopefully, if this landing today is any good, maybe it will be a good sign for next week's flight. I've been flying a lot of general aviation aircraft, so I've tried the Cessna 172, the Baron 58, tried a lot of that stuff recently, so I've kind of really been working on my sort of hand flying. So after you finished everything, the guy said tomorrow you'll get the results emailed. Have you checked your spam folder, Andre? Just just checking you've checked your spam folder, man. Results are going to be uploaded to the site. Cool. I really hope it goes your way. Because this ATC window is getting a bit busy, I'm just going to hide that so it's not hanging around in the corner. Yeah, we will see. We will see, man. A billion times, like, why are you still waiting, right? It's mad, absolutely mad. You know, I mean, Wizz Air is like a proper legitimate airline, isn't it? So you'd expect that maybe they've kind of got their stuff together, and maybe maybe they'd actually let people know on time. But you know, maybe they're busy. Maybe everybody was amazing, and they're going to hire you all. Maybe everybody sucks. You never know. You never know with these things, man. You just never know. There we go. What a beautiful, beautiful aircraft that is today. So because a lot of the high altitude flights we've been doing have been absolutely covered in cloud, what we're going to do, I think, after next week is we're going to do a little bit of that general aviation stuff. We're going to fly the Baron 58, fly the Cessnas. We're going to fly these propeller planes. We can fly them into places like St. Martin, St. Barths. You know, we can fly them around the UK into tiny airports, which, you know, it's all manual landings. It's all good practice. It's all good fun. We can fly them to tiny airports and sort of improve my skills, improve the stream's quality, and we can see some beautiful scenery along the way. There is a route we're going to do fairly shortly, at about 3,000 feet in a Cessna. We'll just be flying pretty much next to the mountains, so it's absolutely awesome. The interview was nice. He asked you about your favourite airplane. Haha, cool. What features does the Airbus have and how big is their fleet? I do hope you did your research, Andre. I'm sure you did your research, man. I'm sure you answered all of their questions. So, what is their most popular route? When does it leave? And why does it leave that day? Tell me. Let's use this stream to educate everyone, man. They told you immediately that you did great. I'm sure they did, man. Sure they did. I mean, you're like a proper aviation fan, right? So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that you did well at all there. It's looking good. It is looking good, man. So what's going on in these skies? Something Dublin. Someone at Manchester. Cool. Pick for one that is close to you. Cool. I can't even pronounce that. So you picked the base that is close to you, and that was the right answer, right? Cool. Most popular route is to London Luton. I had no idea. Awesome. I haven't flown into London Luton, either in the sim or in real life. Maybe we should do a flight there. Leaves on why does it leave on Sunday in the evening? There we go. We're at top of climb here, guys. So I'm just going to set our final altitude here to 2,000 feet, just so the aircraft is able to descend in VNAV mode when it is time. There we go, 2,000. We'll just check we've got this right on our FMC here. There we go, finals at 2,000 above. That is all good. So let's just take in some views out of this window as we bank to the left here. Leaves London on Sunday because a lot of Romanian people work in the UK. Ah, cool, man. I never knew that. Genuinely had no idea that was the reason they flew it. I guess there's a lot of business travel and that kind of thing, I'd imagine. Very cool, man. So to anybody that is watching, now we are cruising, guys. If you've got any questions about the plane, about flying or anything like that, just pop them down in chat and I'll do my best to get to them. I'd imagine today is going to be a slightly quieter stream because it's on a Wednesday. It's not really scheduled, and obviously I'd imagine that everybody has seen the 737 Ultimate. I mean, the Blackbird last week did amazingly well, and the views are still growing on that video. So I'm trying to go for sort of more and more sort of interesting, different things every week. So like next week we've got Lucla Paro. We're going to do some GA stuff, some amazing scenery. You know, we're going to fly to St. Martin, that sort of thing. All these really cool different flights, as well as you know, just flying around the UK. And hopefully we'll have cool, interesting flights within the UK as well. So there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to, and you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can keep growing this channel. Hoping to start streaming 2 days a week as soon as the school holidays start, which should help some. So that's sort of the plans for the channel right now. Still very much enjoying it, and fingers crossed for the future. There we go. So where are we? We are just where are we facing? Facing north. So that should be sort of the northwest coast of the UK, just out of our window, just down there. Clouds seem to be clearing, which is a positive sign as we head towards the Highlands. Hopefully we may actually be able to see those mountains because they are beautiful. Got some traffic to our right here, about 3,100 feet above us. Not sure if I can see him yet. Nope, I guess not. I guess it's a little bit too high up for us to see. But maybe we'll see him as he passes us. Of course, as usual, we are flying on the VATSIM network. So it'd be super cool if we had air traffic control at some time as well. If we had ATC at some time as well, that would be amazing. It's always good to interact with the controllers. This guy is literally directly in front of us. Just see, still can't see the traffic, but apparently there is some. So there we go. Okay. Let's pop out to the wings, and we will continue to take in some of the views here. I do love the Ultimate for an unfinished product. It's actually really cool. So we'll talk a little bit more about the tablet. So variants, that's coming soon. That'll allow you to add your split scimitars, I think they're called, on the wings. Cabin lighting actually works right now. But I think it maybe only works at night, so you can change the LEDs in the cabin to different colours. Audio Wi-Fi, that's coming soon. Door operation obviously works. Pushback, everyone uses better pushback. Ground handling we used. Weight and balance and all of that is still to come. You can pull up charts and checklists as well if you have them stored. So this stuff would all be super useful once the tablet view is displayed actually on that screen instead of just a sticker. So after the interview, they should come back in 15 minutes for a personality test. After 2 minutes they come to you yelling, "Andre, we forgot to ask you a question." Brilliant. Yeah, maybe it doesn't seem so, maybe they don't seem so well organised, man. That's really weird, dude, really weird. I tell you, to term a paper you had, and you had a physics problem. Did you manage to solve the physics problem? What was it, man? Where is that traffic today, guys? Where is that traffic here? No idea. Apparently there's another plane somewhere. So, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, tests and exams are always nerve-wracking, man. Like I said, my students have their exams in 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So I'm sure they'll be experiencing the same thing. I hate exams myself. I sympathise with you, man. But yeah, after that it will be the summer holidays. Then I can start streaming more often. It's just sort of this mad rush at the end of the year we've got to get through first. Everybody has to hand in their work and sit their exams. Got to go back. I was at work this morning. I've got to go back to work after this as well. So it's, yeah, just kind of fitting in the stream where I can this week. Like I said, I'm away on Friday, so I booked that before I started streaming. So yeah, as the holidays come along, the schedule should stabilise a little bit, hopefully, and increase. Oh, they helped you with the answer. That's pretty cool. Are they allowed to help you with the answer? That's awesome, dude. That is very awesome if they're allowed to help you out. Very cool. What are the winds doing up here? Blowing across our nose at 20 knots. That's not too bad given how high up we actually are. Plane's shaking around a bit though. One hour and 30 minutes. Cool. I think. Brilliant. I hope you were right. I'm sure you were right, man. I'm sure you were right. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, man. So the approach into Inverness today. We're heading for runway 23, which is not quite as scenic. If we were going for runway 05, we'd literally make a right turn sort of across and down the river just before some hills, and we sort of see the town of Inverness as we came in. Unfortunately we've got 23, but we should still see the mountains on our way along. They said it was the right answer and explain why. Happy days. You know, they told you afterwards. That's fair enough. Yeah, that's really cool. At least they told you got it right. Very cool. So yesterday I practiced this flight and this landing. I landed manually at 61 feet per minute. The little landing display said butter smooth landing, but the winds were like really in my favour. So you know, I'm hoping the wind hasn't changed too much today. I know we slammed the Blackbird down last week, but it's Blackbird, we got it down right. The manual landings on this stream so far have been okay. We've got the 747 down at about 100 and something knots. We've got the 737 down in that crosswind at about 150 or so. Obviously the first two streams, because I was getting used to streaming, were auto lands, so we'll just forget about those. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting, fingers crossed, touch wood, getting better at landing the plane. Oh, and that, yeah, we'll brush that crash at North Weald under the carpet, and we'll move on from that. But by and large, the landings have been okay, and they are improving all the time, hopefully, especially as I fly more and more sort of planes that don't have an auto land. I'm sort of turning from somebody who knows what buttons to press into somebody who knows what buttons to press and can fly a plane. So you know, hopefully, as well as teaching you guys what buttons to press to fly a plane, hopefully I can show you some half decent hand flying as well. That's the idea here. That's the idea, guys. Fingers crossed. Oh, there we go. let's take this in for a little bit here. Well, are we about 160 or so miles out? Current speeds, probably another 40-50 minutes left on my flight, including descent and taxi to gate and all of that stuff, which is cool. It's not too long, not too short. It's a nice length flight today, which is what I like to do. Last week's was pretty epic. Last week's 2.5 hour, 2 hour 40, long haul over to Canada in the Blackbird was fairly mad. We'll do another one eventually. We will do another one eventually, guys. So the next plane on the list to pick up, I may have mentioned last stream, is the Flight Factor A350. Because I saw it on a few other streams recently and it looks amazing. Obviously apart from the lack of SIDS and stars, but we will fly it out of airports that don't have SIDS and stars, it's fine, until they update it. But it looks like something completely different to learn. So sort of the A320, the A330 family are basically the same plane. We have the 319. If I bought the 320 or 330, we'd just be flying the same plane as far as procedures are concerned. We've got the 737, 2 flavours of it, and we've got the 747. Got more than enough Boeing in our lives. They all work basically the same way. I feel like maybe getting the 767 at the moment, maybe wouldn't be the wisest choice. So we're going to go for the A350 next because it's something completely new to learn. Should be quite good fun picking that up. No, yeah, they don't really look for older people for these cadet programs. They're looking for youngsters, aren't they? I'm surprised. I thought they literally banned anybody over the age of 35, I thought, from this kind of thing. Maybe they don't do it in sort of over there, but yeah, I know over here that anybody over 35 is generally banned from these programs, I believe. Which, you know, is a bit unfair, but there we go. But yeah, I guess you know, they hire people young, train them up, and then maybe by the time these people are 40, they would have repaid their student loans or whatever it is that the airline gives you. So yeah, not a cadet program. It was bad. I guess a bad way to word it. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I thought they did sort of ban people over a certain age from these things, but there we go. You know, I wish everybody luck. I wish everybody sort of the same amount of luck, no matter what age they are. Yeah, it'd be quite cool, wouldn't it, to change career sort of later on, about 40 or so, and become a pilot. That would be pretty awesome. In that book I was reading, Skyfaring, the guy was like a business analyst until he was in his mid to late 30s, and then he joined British Airways as a pilot, and now he's a 747 captain. So yeah, age does not stop you. Age should not stop you from this kind of career. Yeah, people who said Wizz Air flies Boeings maybe didn't do so well. I'm not like I don't have a huge amount of knowledge about Wizz Air myself, but yeah, I'd have thought that they are basically an Airbus fleet. A lot of the airlines that hire people, that hire sort of new pilots, tend to fly Airbus, I think. Probably because it's kind of so easy to just take somebody from a Cessna with some basic flying knowledge and just put them in an Airbus and tell them what buttons to press. Yeah, exactly. When they invest in someone, they do look for somebody younger. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's why they do it. It's so that they know they'll get their money back. Because you have to stay with them for a certain amount of time, right? Excuse me. I've been talking all morning in class, and I'm talking all afternoon. I'll be talking all evening as well. Awesome. It's good for your voice. It's good for your voice. So once we descend, we should start seeing some of these mountains. Just over 100 miles away at the moment, so we're covering ground fairly quickly here. Yeah, exactly, yeah. What do you want to become, Andre? I'm figuring a captain, right? Airbus captain? Oh my god, Nightbot has woken up. Excellent. Anyone who's watching, if you want to know more about the stream, just put those commands in chat. There we go. Line training captain, yeah, cool. Cool. So you'll be like an instructor as well as a captain, right? Yeah, I do think I follow a few of those types of people on Instagram. So yeah, they seem to have a fairly varied life, sort of balance between flying and kind of looking after simulator training and new people. It's pretty cool. There we go. We've got some some patchy. Oh, guys, look at this! Look at this! Absolutely stunning scenery. Absolutely stunning. Awesome. Wow. These are the mountains. These are the mountains we wanted to see. This is why we come to Scotland. It's for stuff like this, for scenery like this. Venture Pilot is a great example. He's your idol. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good idol to have for sure. Yeah, I think that's fantastic, man. You'll be a captain and a teacher. Eh? Not too different. We're not too different, man. Look at that, absolutely beautiful mountains, absolutely beautiful. It's not quite as big as the mountains we are going to be seeing next week, but pretty damn cool all the same. Got anything over this side? Ah, it's rubbish over there. We'll stick with this. Beautiful. Might be snow-capped on top as well. It's the thing with mountains in this country, you don't see a lot of snow-capped mountains unless it's like the depths of winter. They're just not tall enough, to pick up snow. But still, it's very, very nice indeed to see these. Just pop this out a little bit to what we reckon, 40 miles. So on top of descent here, guys. There we go. It's coming up right there. If I become a pilot and you never hear the name, don't come into the cockpit and say it's TJ. Awesome, man. That'd be so cool, dude. Maybe you can you can fly me out of Luton, and yeah, we'll go flying sometime, man. That'd be sweet. That's why you gotta keep me updated, and you've got to keep in touch, Andre. I want to follow your career, and hopefully you want to follow my streaming career as well. Fingers crossed. Thank you so much for your support of this sort of early stage of the stream, man. Absolutely awesome, dude. Much appreciated. Hopefully, like I say, hopefully we will continue to grow here. Fingers crossed. Nice scenery. Yeah, Andre, thank you very much, man. Take care, and I will see you next Friday, hopefully. Thank you so much for your support, dude. All the best. Okay, just approaching top of descent here, and then we will begin our approach down into Inverness as we get closer and closer to this beautiful Highland scenery down here. definitely looking forward to doing some of the sightseeing, some of that general aviation propeller plane stuff in a few weeks' time. Something completely different. Still just as educational in terms of learning what buttons to press in the smaller planes, but a much higher chance of seeing some really decent scenery as well. So if you're watching and enjoying the stream, guys, thank you so much. Likes are always appreciated, and so are subscribers. As we, you know, here we go, top of descent. Cool. Okay, what's our target speed? 277. So what we'll do here, probably throw up the spoilers just so we can get to 277 here, guys. Might keep them on as we descend as well, actually. Keep the spoilers on. Just so the plane is not kind of nosediving and has some sort of control over its speed. There we go. FMC speed has come up. Cool. The next step, once we hit a descent target of 250 knots, we can throw our landing gear down. We can program our approach into our FMC, get our approach speed set, and then we are really not too far from our landing here today, guys. The approach is a bit, it's kind of just like a circuit, so we'll fly out left of the airport, make a right turn, and we will hook straight back in down to runway 23 at Inverness in the Highlands. Inverness is a great town. It's a little bit less touristy than Fort William, for example. It's in the East Highlands, not the West Highlands. The scenery, as you can see, is still absolutely stunning. But it's a much smaller town, a much more sort of normal place to visit. I would recommend Inverness. I love the place. There is a train all the way from London to Inverness. It's called the Highlands Chieftain. It takes 8 hours from London to Inverness. And I think you can get a first class ticket for about £50, and as part of that first class ticket they will give you as much alcohol as you like. So by the time you reach Edinburgh, you're fairly you're almost falling asleep. The absolutely recommended trip to Inverness, guys. Beautiful Scotland. So what can we see over here? There we go. Got some more nice scenery. Ah, yes. We'll pop out to the wings, and we will enjoy some of this during our descent. Gotta grab a screenshot of that. There we are. You can use that in the intro to the stream, which changes every week, by the way, guys. Keep it up to date. So you guys sort of get a teaser of what is coming next in the stream. Absolutely stunning scenery. This is why we came to the Highlands. Yes, it's just a normal flight from a small airfield to, you know, in a 737. But just look at this. Look at this scenery. This is why we do these virtual flights. Not only to kind of educate how to fly planes, not only to inspire you guys to pick up Flight Simulator and try it for yourself, but also you know, to enjoy this beautiful scenery. No baggage queues, no passports, making sure you've remembered your passport. None of that. Just, you know, sit at your computer. Enjoy this flight and enjoy the scenery. Most importantly of all, guys, I do hope you like what you're seeing here. Okay, so in a second we will pop back to the flight deck just to check on our descent progress. But I'd imagine once the plane is aiming for 250 knots, you'll hear those throttles come down a little bit as well. as we hit some clouds, but we've also got some nice snow-capped mountains just coming into view on our right-hand side there as well. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend flying the 737 Ultimate. You can pick it up from the X-Plane forum for free. It is only a beta, but like it's pretty much feature complete because it's based on the Zebo. The only thing really missing is the HUD and the sort of extra, that extra functionality in the tablet. Honestly, you're not really missing too much. Pick it up and go fly it. Look at that. So this is, this is a nice way to spend a Wednesday. Nice way to spend a Wednesday afternoon before going back to work. Let's take a nice flight across the country and cross our fingers for a good landing as well. Once we are, 38 miles away, cool. Once we are properly into these clouds and going through these clouds, we'll pop back to the flight deck, just check on our descent progress. There we are, okay. So what are we doing here? Still aiming for 277 knots. You can see the airport just coming up on the top of our navigation display there, and you can see our holding pattern, which hopefully we won't have to enter, but there is a holding pattern there. We hold at the, I think it's the INS waypoint. There we go. So let's get some nice mountains over the nose here. So this scenery is from Zones Photos, as I've said before. If you look for the Zones Photos website, they provide photo scenery for the entire UK, and it also comes with overlays, so it comes with all the buildings you need as well, which is a little bit easier than using Ortho for XP. Ortho for XP, you have to kind of set it up yourself, whereas Zones Photos, they sort of come pre-packaged, which is nice. So if you want to get into photo scenery, that's probably the easiest way to do it right now. Of course, like all photo scenery, you'll get the odd patchy bit, but by and large, it's pretty damn nice to look at. We've had some nice mountain views, and we're going to get some nice hills and some more mountains on our way into the airport as well. Guys, remember, if you want to see more streams, 1 PM UTC every Friday. Got some really cool stuff lined up. We've got Lukla coming up, we've got St. Martin, we have some general aviation, with all of the good stuff coming up, guys. So like and sub, and you will be kept updated with our adventures in the skies. Okay, I'm going to just pop this down to 10 miles just so I have a slightly clearer picture of what's going on down here. We've got descent to 240, so we can put our landing gear down here. There we go, here the gear come down. Go to our init ref, our approach. We're going to want flaps 40 at 122 knots. Lovely, that is our approach programmed in nicely there, guys. as we watch this gear come down. Nice, good timing, good timing. There we are. One last look at the Norwegian 737 Ultimate as we come into Inverness. So I'll need to know the weather at Inverness. Weather at Inverness, altimeter is sitting at 1032. So I'll pop back to the flight deck and we'll get this altimeter programmed in. 1029 3132. Pop over here, we'll do the same. Altimeter 1032. Okay, cool. So as soon as we hit, I think it's 5,000 feet transition altitude, we can pop our altimeters to standard. So we're comfortably doing about 240 knots here. Happy days. So what have we got in the way of scenery? Looks like there could be something decent. Ah, there we go. There we go. Always trust the wing views for nice scenery. We'll stick with this right up until we make our final turns and we hit our deceleration point. So if we were flying onto 05, we'd pretty much be heading for those mountains in the background and then making a sharp right turn. But we are not. We're taking, I guess, what's the slightly easier approach onto 23. It's still fairly scenic, to be fair. Still a fairly scenic approach. Look at this stuff down here. Cannot complain. So once we hit about 1,000 feet on the ILS, I'll take over flying the plane, trying to get her in kind of low and gentle on the glide slope. About 100 feet, we'll back off the throttles, continue to glide, and then sort of flare as necessary, really. And touch wood, we will get the landing we want today. I hope we do. So 8 miles away. It's amazing how quickly you can get from one end of the country to the other when you're flying at 300 knots in a big powerful jet. It's absolutely awesome. It's nice. I'll take a screenshot there. That's the town of Inverness, just over our wing there. Pop back to the flight deck. We have, I'm going to take a gentle right turn and sort of loop back in. About 7,000 feet at the moment. With the airport, yeah, the airport is literally to our left. I'm sure if we look closely enough we could see it. But that's the approach to 05 from that river, the backgrounds across the town, and onto the runway. We're going to take a loop, we're going to fly around it. Thankfully the flying conditions are fairly nice today. Those clouds, awful clouds we had at Holyhead, have disappeared. So we've got some nice clear views of this scenery today. And there we go. That is Inverness Airport, directly below our wing. That's the runway we're landing on. Which is runway 23 and 05. There is like another one crossing it, but I'm not sure if that's just like a taxiway, or if it's actually a working runway. Either way, it doesn't have an ILS, so we don't want it. It's all good. Okay, so we need to keep an eye out here for our deceleration point, which is coming up very shortly indeed. As soon as we hit that, as soon as we hit this right turn, start incrementing the flaps and slowing the aircraft down for landing. What time is it? 3 o'clock, guys. Not bad. Not bad at all. Made good time today. Guess the winds may have been in our favour. Happy days. Happy days. Okay. So we'll pop this down to 5 miles. There we go. Hit some fog, which is fairly nasty. Just as I was talking about how beautiful the weather was, we're also going to want to set altimeters as well. So you can see the glide slope has already appeared. That's currently the glide slope for 05. As we turn round, that will turn into the glide slope for 23. And the little pink diamond on the right hand side will move up. That will tell us, there we go, will tell us we are in the correct place at the correct height for the runway. Okay, so just about to make our right turn here. Let's start incrementing these flaps. First 3 go on at 250 knots. You can see the red tape there, we want to stay well away from that area. Once we hit 210 knots, we can stick some more flaps on. We really want to be careful with this. If you overspeed the aircraft and you snap your flaps off, you're going to have a very bad time indeed. But obviously the more drag you introduce, the faster your speed falls off. So just following these flap speeds here, and keeping an eye on it on the screen. 190. Our next is 175, guys, and 162 for our final approach. 175 and 4, 3, 2. Get the aircraft slowed right down now, guys. Okay, full flaps landing configuration. What we're going to do is we're going to go VOR localizer. Let's pick up the localizer. Also going to arm our speed brakes. Just keeping with this view for a minute, guys. Just keeping with this view for the minute. We are nicely below the glide slope, and hopefully we should intercept that glide slope nicely, and the ILS will guide us down below the clouds. But we can look at the window, look out the window while we are waiting for this magic to happen. If you end up above the glide slope, if that pink dot there ends up below the halfway point, you won't pick up the glide slope on the ILS and your plane won't descend. So you need to make sure your flight plan actually gets you onto the glide slope at your destination airport. Got a left turn here, but we will intercept the localizer in a minute. If I haven't explained already, the localizer is like a little radio guidance system that will guide the plane to the airport. There we go. Okay, guys, we are established. We're going to go approach mode. We're on the glide slope right now. Just keeping with this view, guys, until I can actually see the airport now. As we are on final into Inverness. Conditions were so beautiful when we were above the clouds. The conditions were so nice. And now we have this to deal with. Awesome. Alright, let's zoom in and see what we can see here, guys. It's the airport. Okay, we'll disconnect the autopilot at 1,000 feet here. Disconnect the auto throttles at 100. And here we go. So we're following that glide slope. We're 5.6 miles from the airport, which I think FlyLive up there sort of roughly agrees with. 5.6 miles from the airport and still descending. Cool. What are the winds doing here? No idea. Cool. I'm sure they'll be fine. Okay, so we are below the auto-land limit, so even if we wanted to now, we could not auto-land the plane, we'll have to do it ourselves. We can see the runway, guys, we can see the runway. We'll wait till we hit 1,000 before I switch this off. There it is. So what have we got? You can see we were above those mountains and now they're sort of towering above us. Going to have a lot of that in our propeller plane flights. Mountains towering above us. 1,000 autopilot off, guys, my aircraft. So we're going to go low here.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Definitely going to try and go a little bit lower here. And glider in. Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine, we're good. Good. Okay, let's get below the glide slope here. This thing is floating, really floating here. We're also going to bring her in line with the runway a little bit more as well. There we go, lovely glide slope. It doesn't like us being below the glide slope, but I feel more comfortable with a sort of lower and slower approach here, guys. Much more comfortable. Keep pointing it down here, nice and gently here, guys. Let's pull the nose up. Minimums, landing. Back off the throttle now here, guys. Pop the nose. Floating. Alright, 200 feet per minute. I will take it. I will take it, guys. There we go. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Floated it and dropped it. 200 feet a minute is acceptable. Let's get these rolled off. We're going to start our APU if possible. There we go. Welcome, guys, to Inverness Airport. Once we have parked, we can take in some replays of our landing. Welcome to Scotland. I'm just going to park up here next to this EasyJet. There we go. APU is on here, guys. Go APU. Over. Okay, and we will get her parked. Hey, Cobalt Skies, how you doing, man? Literally just landed, dudes. Literally just landed. But I'm glad you could join us. We're going to take in some replays. Of our landing at Inverness here in a second. Once we've shut the aircraft down. But welcome to the stream, Cobalt. Is this I know you do the paints, don't you? Was this your paint, the Norwegian paint for the 737 Ultimate? Flooded with toeless crap. No, I did not crash Cobalt. That was a one-off, man. That was a one-off, I swear. Yeah, no, we made it down 200 feet per minute. Yeah, just around there, cool. Made it down at about 200 feet per minute in Inverness. We floated for a little bit, but we're all good. Take power from the APU, there we go, lovely, cool. Let's get engine 1, engine 2 off, there we go guys. And relax, welcome to Inverness, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this flight today. So Cobalt, what are you working on for TOLIS at the moment? I'm a huge fan of that Airbus. I really am. What are you working on with the TOLIS? Yeah, that EasyJet Airbus just next to us right there. While we are here, we are going to disconnect from Squawkbox before we take in those replays, guys. The engine spin down and peace descends onto Inverness Airport. There we go, guys. Lovely. Welcome. Working on PBR and remodeling a new paint kit. Oh, cool, man. Looking forward to seeing it. Is that for version 1.1? I'm looking forward, really looking forward to 1.1 coming out, man. As we get our replay angle in, what do we reckon? That should do us. Cool. And we'll fast forward it a little bit. There we go. Hello, Red Nose. Okay. As we watch our landing here at Inverness in Bonnie, Scotland. I am a fan of the Ultimate. I'm liking the Boeing 737 Ultimate for sure. The TOLIS is still my favourite. TOLIS is still my favourite. Hey Oliver! Oliver, you literally, we've literally just landed, man. Oh, look at this flow. Oh, God. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. That's, yeah, whatever. Hell of a float there, guys. But not a bad landing as we put it down there. Let's grab this tower view here. Got the favourite point. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Once again. Oh, this float. Jeez, man. Check this out. I don't know how far down the runway I was there. It was like halfway down the runway before we got this thing down, guys. Jesus. But oh, there we go. Just had to dip the nose just a little bit, just to force it. Oh, look at that! You see, that was never. The centerline is optional. The centerline is it's a suggestion, you know. In never crosswinds, dude. That's my excuse. But there we go. One heck of a float on our way down the runway right there. Totally optional. Exactly, man. Exactly. We're down smoothly. We're down safely. Who needs the centerline? Who needs the centerline, man? It's all tarmac. It's all good, dude. Still working on my hand landings, but I feel like I've been relatively consistent recently. Fingers crossed. That was all right. That was fine, man. That was fine. There we go. Happy days. Okay. So, guys, that will do us for today's flight from Passengers on the right. We need to close the blinds. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. But, well, the blinds are coming. The blinds are coming in the 737 Ultimate, right? Out of sight, out of mind. I agree. I agree, man. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. If you missed the start of the stream, there will, of course, be a replay up shortly. Thank you so much for joining me for today's stream, guys. I will see you next Friday at 1 PM UTC for more flights. We are going to Paro from Lukla. But until then, guys, remember, you can always go around. Thank you.